Danger, Dr. Danfield.
Dan?
Yes, Rusty?
Why do so many women shoot their husbands?
What brought that on?
Well, look at the news on the Times building.
Oh? The Italian count killed by beautiful American wife.
I saw his picture in the paper this morning. He was so handsome. That cute little mustache.
Oh?
Now, why would any woman want to shoot a man like that?
Well, Rusty, in this particular case, I imagine it involves the basic psychology of a caged animal's desire to be free.
Well, now say it so I can understand it.
Well, you see, men of the world consider their wives something to be seen and worshipped only in the privacy of the home. They allow them little or no freedom whatsoever. So, to gain their freedom, they kill their husbands. This, of course, doesn't settle the problem at all, as they will undoubtedly spend the rest of their lives shut up in some nasty jail. Now, you see?
Uh-huh. Say, Dan. Why don't you grow a mustache?
Dr. Daniel Danfield, student of crime psychology, has many times provided the police with a solution to a baffling crime. There's an interesting case for the doctor today. Let's call it the case of the bird in the gilded cage. Rusty, did you see that circular that came recently from Tristan's bookstore?
Circular?
Yes, the one suggesting that I buy a copy of Barton Drake's new book as a Christmas present for a friend.
Oh, Barton Drake, the detective?
Uh-huh.
But Christmas is over.
Yes, I know, and I forgot to get a present for the guy I like most of all.
Oh, that.
Me.
Oh, Dan, you egotistical.
Let's see, yes, here it is. Yeah, come on, Rusty, you want to take a walk?
Sure, where to?
To the bookstore, of course. Isn't that where you generally buy a book?
Well, good morning, folks. Good morning. Something for you? A book bag?
Yes, I received a card from you announcing Barton Drake's latest book.
Oh, to be sure. A very fine book. I read it myself. You see, I love mystery stories. Simply love them.
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. Tristan, I'd like to...
I have it right here, Dr. Danfield. Right here.
Dan, how did you know who you are?
Anybody who listens to the radio knows who Dr. Danfield is. I love detectives. Now, here's the book. And that'll be $3.
Okay, here you are.
Thank you, Doctor. 3 out of 10. Oh, my.
What's the matter, Mr. Tristan? Did you ever see a $10 bill before?
I'm sorry, folks. I'm very sorry. A brand new bill. Just get it from your bank?
Of course not. I made it myself. Now, please give me my change, will you? We're in a hurry.
Made it today? Oh, that's very... Oh, knitted it. Here you are, sir, your change and the book.
Thank you, Mr. Tristan. Come on, Rusty, let's go. I hope this book is all it's packed up to be.
Oh, you like it? I loved it myself. Simply loved it. Let me see. Serial number L45735690. C. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Operator, could you get me Secret Service, please? Yes, and hurry. Oh, my, this is so exciting. Hello, Secret Service. Yes, well, this is Thaddeus Tristan of Tristan's bookstore. I've just taken in a counterfeit $10 bill. And I know who made it. It was Dr. Daniel Danfield. But that? Oh, he said so himself.
In a moment, we'll return for the second act of Danger, Dr. Danfield, but first... Now back to Michael Dunn for the second act of Danger, Dr. Danfield. Hey, you know, Rusty, this fellow Barton Drake isn't bad. Now, the way he handled that...
Isn't there something more important to do than read that old book?
Oh, for instance?
Well, for instance, talking to me.
Oh, Rusty, for that I prefer soft lights and a soft divan. A prosaic old office like this isn't very conducive. Oh, you see who's at the door, Rusty?
prosaic old office. Yes?
Darling?
Hey, well, I like that.
Are you Danfield? I suppose so. That's the name on the door, isn't it? Did you buy a book at Tristan's bookstore this morning? Why, yes. But I can't see that that's any of your business. You paid for it with a $10 bill.
Dan, what's he
Why,
doing?
Rusty? Why, yes. Yes, I believe I did. Tristan says you made the bill yourself. Did you? That? Oh, sure. I run them off by the dozens. Now, listen, my friend, I don't like people barging in here, knocking over my secretary, and otherwise making themselves distasteful. So if you haven't any more jokes to tell, I'd be very much obliged if you went back to where you came from. Now, don't get sore, mister. I came here to do you a favor. Like accusing me of being a counterfeiter? Much obliged. You know, that was the best piece of queer I've seen in months. Any guy who can turn out stuff like that's an artist. Now, I've got a proposition.
Dan, how does he know you bought a book at Tristan's store?
That's easy. I was in the back of the store while you were consummating the deal. I see. And this proposition? Just what kind of a proposition? Well, now, suppose there was a little organization. Yes, go on. Now, all you have to do is make the stuff. The organization buys it at 50 cents on the dollar and floats it on the market. That way, everybody makes money and you don't take any of the risk. Oh, sounds simple. It's a cinch. No, I don't think so. We've been doing all right by ourselves. We don't have to split with anybody. Oh, so you're going to play it that way. Lone wolf, huh? Well, let me tell you, Dr. Danfield, the boys aren't going to like that. Oh? Counterfeiting is a closed shop in this town. They aren't going to like it, huh? No, they aren't. And I don't like you. And here's something to prove it.
Wow, right on the button.
Rusty, what's your language? Yeah, I didn't know I was that good.
If you could only love like you can fight.
We'll get to that later. Right now, it looks like we're about to really make some money.
Money? What do you mean?
I think we've hit a pot of gold.
Danny, please.
They pay off double for guys like this, too.
Oh? Who do you think he is?
I think he's the weakest link in this town's counterfeiting chain. We'll know for sure when we turn him in for the reward.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now I can have that.
You better throw a cup of water in his face, Rusty. No, wait a minute. Better search him first. Might find some evidence. You take the pocket on that side.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care for his choice of cigarettes. Well, a very good gun.
Here's his billfold.
Good. Throw it over here, will you? Thanks. Now maybe we can find out who to notify in case of an accident. That's what I like about... Holy cow.
What's the matter?
Huh, what an actor this guy turned out to be.
Well, Dan, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. Only if these credentials are correct, I just knocked out a member in good standing of the United States Treasury Department.
Something for you, sir? A book, perhaps? Oh, my. It's my friend from the Secret Service. Did you capture Dr. Danfield?
Capture him? He hit me on the chin and escaped.
Ah, he's a slippery customer. Very slippery.
Yeah, not only that, but he's got a lift like a mule. When I get my hands on him, I'll take...
I might be of a little help.
Oh, you might, huh?
Yes, indeed. I have an idea that at this very moment you can find him at Senor Castillo's art gallery.
Yeah? What makes you think that?
Don't make me answer that. I just know, that's all.
Well, it's worth a try. But if he isn't there, I'll be back.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Dan, I still think we should have brought that Secret Service man with us.
Well, maybe, but I would have had to do a lot of explaining. Besides, I hate to be taken for a sucker. This is one case I'd like to handle myself.
You actually think that Senor Castillo is guilty?
Could be. However, I wouldn't worry too much about our Secret Service friend. He'll be along almost any time if I know anything about those fellows. I only hope we get there first.
Isn't this Castillo's studio?
That's right you are, Rusty. Let's go in.
Dark, isn't it?
All art galleries are like that, Rusty. They want nothing to detract from the painting.
Oh, Dr. Danfield, welcome. You must like my little studio. You're back so soon.
Yes, indeed, senor. That was an artistic piece of work I got the other day. I wouldn't at all be surprised, but it might excite interest in some very high place.
I am so happy you like it.
Like isn't exactly the word.
And the young lady?
Oh, your pardon, Senor Castillo. This is my secretary, Rusty Fairfax. Rusty, Senor Raymond Castillo.
I am charmed.
Thank you, senor.
And now, how can I be of service? Another flambeau, perhaps?
No, not exactly. Today, I'm interested in another form of art. Bogus $10 bills.
Bogus? What is it you mean, bogus?
Counterfeit, my dear senor. You remember the painting I purchased here the other day?
Oh, but of course, an excellent choice.
And I paid cash, a $500 bill. I received 8 new $10 bills and change. They were counterfeit.
What's the deal? Oh, no, it could not be.
But it could, and they were.
Oh, but surely, Senor Danfield, you do not believe...
No, don't get excited. All I wanted to do was tell me where they came from. It's as simple as all that.
Oh, but it is not so simple. I've made several sales since and before then. They might have come from anywhere.
Surely you don't always get new bills, senor. Think. Can't you remember?
But wait.
Yes?
Senor, at this moment, I remember how the new bills came to me.
Oh, fine. Now tell us if you will, please.
I found them.
What?
You found them? Oh, come now.
I do not wonder that you are surprised, but it is the truth.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Fortunately, I have the proof.
How in the world could anyone prove that anyone found anything?
No, that you shall see, senorita. If you will but wait here one moment, please.
Sounds awfully fishy to me.
Well, don't be hasty, Rusty. I'm betting he'll show us some proof.
Guess who's coming in?
Rusty, don't whistle. Oh, good afternoon, Senora Castillo.
The good part of it walked out when she walked in.
Rusty.
Well, an art gallery isn't quite the place to wear such a revealing negligee, is it? Or is it?
You'll pardon my secretary, Senora. She's a little embarrassing.
Please don't call me senor. I'm not Spanish. I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, sorry. But you are Senora... Mrs. Castillo.
Yeah, though I'm not bragging about it.
Who's your dressmaker, darling? I like that thing you almost have on.
Don't be catty, sister. Oh, what's the use? I know I shouldn't be out here. But I just had to talk to somebody.
Now, wait a minute. I didn't mean to.
It's all right. I saw Raymond leave, and I thought I'd get a chance to... No, forget it. It's no use.
Well, now, if you need some kind of help, I'll be on.
Maria, what are you doing here? And in that attire?
Sorry, Raymond. I looked out the door, and these people were here, and I thought they were customers, and I guess I kind of forgot.
Go back to your room at once.
Yes, Raymond.
Well, I like that. Dan, you
Rusty, this is none of your business.
But really...
Rusty.
Oh, well.
And now, Senor Danfield, here is the proof you asked for. This envelope and this paper.
The envelope?
Yes, it was in the envelope that I found the money 3 weeks ago.
And the newspaper?
Read right here in the lost and found copy.
Oh. Yeah, this paper's dated December 20th. Found this morning on 7th Avenue near 14th Street. An envelope containing a sum of money. Owner can claim by describing envelope and naming denomination of bills. Well...
So you see, I did everything possible to locate the rightful owner. I never dreamed that it was, as you say, bogus.
Oh?
And now may I have the paper and the envelope back, please?
Oh, surely. Here you are. There were no papers in the envelope that might give us a clue as to the owner?
No, none.
Well, I guess that's that. Guess we'll have to go back and take your medicine, Dan.
Yes, senor.
You're Senor Ramon Castillo?
At your service, senor.
Well, I'm Maynard of the United States Treasury Department.
Oh? Oh, but surely there is nothing in my poor little shop that...
No. I'm looking for a party of Dr. Danfield. I have reason to believe
Dr.
that...
Danfield. Oh, I'm so sorry, Senor Maynard. Dr. Danfield left a half hour ago.
Marie, how did you get away?
I begged Raymond to let me come. I told him if he was going to keep me cooped up, he could at least get me something to read.
Yeah, fine. Now tell me what's happened. Oh, I'm so excited.
A lot, but none of it too good.
Did Dr. Danfield come to the shop?
Yeah, he was there.
Good. Was he suspicious?
I think so at first. Then Raymond showed him the envelope in the newspaper, and he seemed to think it explained everything.
Oh, my dear. And I suppose he went away, huh?
Yeah, he left. What's that, darling? We were crazy to try it this way. The other way would have been much more direct, and now Danfield's gone and completely fooled, I think.
Oh, no, I don't think so, my dear. That's not the way it happens in the best detective books. Oh, no. Dr. Danfield will be back. Oh, love that man.
And in the meantime, I'm still shut up in Raymond's gilded cage.
But not for long, my sweet. The way things are shaping up, I think before long, I can promise you a lovely murder.
In a moment, we'll return for the third act of Danger, Dr. Danfield. But first,